Welcome back to our mid-episode break, Naming 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of Star Trek Lower Decks returning, we're looking back at Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Star Trek Deep Space Nine is a third spin-off series from Star Trek, if you include the animated series, and is the Star Trek version of Wings. Starring Hawk from Spencer for Hire as Commander and eventually Captain Sisko, Father McCulkey from the MASH film The Former Terrorist in Season 6 of 24, Reggie from Becker, Transporter Chief Miles O'Brien from TNG, Principal Snyder from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the voice of Rita, Brian's older girlfriend among other voices in Family Guy, and Worf from TNG. When the series starts, Commander Sisko and his son Jake are dropped off by the Enterprise D at Deep Space Nine, a joint-governed space station between the Federation and the recently liberated Bajorans from the Cardassians, who coincidentally built the space station. Unfortunately, when Captain Professor X was assimilated by the Borg, he was responsible for Sisko's wife dying at the Battle of Wolf 359. Deep Space Nine becomes important as a stable wormhole to the Gamma Quadrant is discovered outside the station. The first few seasons introduce Sisko to his new team, as well as the conflicts between the species on the station. We are also introduced to the gods, the Bajorans, called the Prophets, and somehow Sisko is revealed to be their messiah. When the species from the Gamma Quadrant declares war on the Federation, Deep Space Nine becomes the front line of the war, and the series gets darker and amazing. Worf joins the crew and eventually marries Jadzia Dax, a Trill woman who has a symbiote inside her with multiple past lives, who dies in the war, but has her symbiote transferred to a new woman, Ezri, played by the wife from the Dead Zone. Ezri then falls in love with Dr. Bashir, who has always hit on Jadzia previously, which kinda skeezy, because she was married. Also, Sisko is revealed to be a half-prophet or something. Also, there's a cool Ferengi who owns the station's bar/casino/holodeck rental shop. Also, Odo, the shapeshifter, who is one of the same species of the Gamma Quadrant aliens that started the war, falls in love with the Bajoran leader of the station, Kira Nerys, and he eventually sacrifices his individuality to end the war, rejoining the shapeshifters and stopping their crusade. Also, they bring back the Mirror Universe and travel in time to the Trouble with Tribbles episode of the original series. And that's Star Trek Deep Space Nine in Naming 90s Minute. More or less. Thanks for watching, and join us again next Tuesday for another Naming 90s Minute. Remember, you can always hear these a day early in full episodes of Naming 90s on all major podcasting platforms, and most of the small ones too. Please subscribe and do all the other YouTube things, bell ringing, share like a scribes, that sort of stuff, and we'll catch you next time.